Heart disease is America's number
start
one.
over again.
Paco, that was good.
Stop.
Okay, no, we'll do. Just stop it, and then we'll do it again. It'll
How
be
do you
like
stop?
you gotta push the button right here.
Push it again?
No.
Heart disease is America's number one killer, and we have a special program planned for you today.
Today we'll speak with Mr. Brody, who had a tragic encounter with heart.
Heart disease is America's number one killer, and we have a special program planned for you today.
Today we.
Heart disease is America's Heart disease isn't. No,
Heart
disease is America's number one killer, and we have a special program planned for you guys today.
Today we'll speak with Mr. Brody, who had a tragic encounter with heart disease.
Polish. Hi, welcome to my house. My name is Pierre Berudi. I'm the dad of Michelle and Teresa. I live at 87 Fieldstone Lane. I hope I could be some help to you, answer all your questions.
We just want to thank you
Yeah,
for,
thank you
Okay.
very
for
much.
giving
You're
this
welcome,
opportunity. And Christina will begin with the questions.
Good.
Okay. How did you find out that you had heart disease?
All right. One of the symptoms to find out that you do have heart disease is number one, when you exercise. Let's say if you do any heavy work or you exercise, riding a bicycle or you jog, and you do run into some symptoms which some difficulties in breathing, and also you might have some pain in the heart, in the arteries, because the arteries pumping the blood into the heart. Now, the heart disease consists in a clot through the arteries, and if you check the picture that I gave you, yeah, they show some arteries, the main arteries, and from the arteries, you see branches. And one of the diseases that it's known to as a heart disease is angina, which I had since 1968, 69. I found out that I didn't have the angina. And the angina consists in a clot of the branches of the heart, or could be one of the main arteries of the heart. Now the one I had three blockages. I can't tell on the picture which arteries were, but I had three clot on three arteries, amount to 65 to 95% clogged in those arteries, on those branches. And one of the reason I found out about those clogs in the arteries was I was playing basketball, and all of a sudden I felt pain in my chest after exercising, after playing basketball for about 10 minutes. I went to the doctor, and he put me on the treadmill, and he increased the speed of the treadmill. In this case, the heart was pumping blood, and naturally, when the clot is inside the heart, blocking the blood, the heart has to overwork, and with this overworking, and the blood not be able to go through the heart, you feel that discomfort, you feel that pain, and that's what's called angina. I went through a couple of tests. One of those tests is called the cataract, which what they do, there's two places they could take, they could operate, or they could detect where the clots are. One of them could be done from the hand, right here, and also they could be done from the groin. What they do, they make an incision right here, or right in the groin, and they put the cataract with the tube inside. And that tube, they pump in it like iodine, colorful liquid, and they pump it throughout the heart. And you'll see in front, when you're laying down on the bed, you'll see TV, about 9-inch square TV. You see how the liquid's going through the vein,
The
going
bloodstream.
through the bloodstream, and they take pictures during this period of time. They take pictures, and the color liquid will show where it's passing through or where it's stopping, and they can detect where the clot is or is located, and if they want to cure it by sending an angiogram, which is a balloon through the same type of incision, and they try to open up the clot. Now, how it's done? After they found out the location of the clot, and if it's on a curve, sometimes it's a little bit hard to send the balloon through. When I'm talking about the curve, let's say if you take right here or right here, it's very hard to have the balloon send out on a curve and open up the clot. Therefore, and also depends on how much clot you have in your arteries and on the branches. So if they can open the clot through the balloon, which is sent through the catheter, they'll open it up. It's like regular balloon. Will go through the vein and try to open the walls of the arteries, and then they'll take it out, and then so the blood will go through. A lot of times that angioplasty could be successful, but a lot of times people, after going through that ordeal, within a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, the place could close again, back again, and you have the same problem as before. Right? So this is part of the what's called angioplasty, or the catheter, to find out how much clot you have in your artery.
Right. Should we go on to the next question?
Okay.
I don't mean to be rude, but this can't be too long. So if you can just.
Let's make it long.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
sure.
mean,
You just stop me. I'm going step by
No,
step.
it's-
I think I'm just
it's good
laying down, and
information.
it's been done to me. So
it's excellent. Like
Okay.
We're very thankful.
okay,
Just
because
that.
I'm going
Yeah,
through
we have a
Yeah.
time limit.
You know,
No,
this
it's
is not
just
a medical
no,
school.
actually, it could be as long
Oh
as.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause she's
forget I
gonna-
said that. Forget I
Oh,
said
okay.
that. Yeah.
If you think I'm just taking too much time, or,
No, just-
No.
Just-
No, 'cause it's really good.
Yeah. Forget I said it because I just remember that she. Wait, it's still on.
I'm
Yeah, it's still on.
It doesn't matter.
See,
It's
okay.
really hot.
Take it over,
I'll take
Sheila.
a look.
Wait, should I start?
Yeah, ask that next question.
No, yeah, but she answered the card. Christina, what's your card?
Josh has number 2 on his card.
You want me to read it?
Alright, I'll read it.
Okay.
What were some of the symptoms?
Wait, then he said it already.
We
though.
said that.
Yeah, we said it.
The discomfort,
Yeah.
pain in the chest, feeling tired, and having difficulty in breathing, like you feel like your chest.
It's like a pressure.
Pressure. Exactly.
Alright, the next is heart disease hereditary in your family? Is that
Okay, it is. They say it's hereditary. My mom had also heart problems. She, in fact, she didn't go through open heart surgery as I did, but she had it's called pacemaker. She had pacemaker put in her heart, and her heart, and that pacemaker is always to give an extra boost to the heart to
Mhm.
work better.
Keeps in pace, like in.
Okay,
Yeah.
and but other main factor in heart disease is it's if the person is diabetic, and also that's hereditary as well. And also my mom had diabetes and had heart problems, and consequently that those diseases affected the sight, the eyes, and affect the feet, the legs, the kidneys.
Yeah, no. Alright, next question. I think you have Christina.
That was my next question. Were
Oh.
there any factors that increased your risk of heart disease?
Okay,
Yeah.
so just
Like
can't.
smoking? Did you smoke?
Well,
before?
the heart disease, if you're diabetic, that's what increase
Chances
the
of
chances of getting heart disease. Smoking, that will give you, most doctors they say smoking is unhealthy regardless if you have heart disease or you don't have heart disease. But if you do have heart disease, you should refrain completely from smoking because you need all the oxygen and you need all your lungs to be healthy, you need your heart to be healthy. So smoking does not, and also smoking, if you smoke, you cannot exercise and you get tired faster because your lungs are most likely clogged up.
did you practice a lean diet or did you?
Well, the diet is also a major factor to keep heart disease. At the beginning, before I found out that I had heart disease or being diabetic, I was a bit sloppy, not watching exactly what to eat, especially at night before we go to sleep, or eating, or drinking sodas or ice creams,
That's my dad.
or
That's my dad too.
Every day.
any frying food, especially frying food, is very, very bad. That talking about cholesterol now.
Yeah.
We're talking about also another factor of heart disease, high blood pressure.
Alright, what specific type of heart disease did you have?
What I had did start with diabetes, and in fact that was in 1968. At that time I had a Darling Rockford Center, and I used to feel very tired and sweaty, and I used to drink a lot of liquid. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, you don't have any diabetes. You just try to curb from drinking any sugar or any sweet stuff." So I stopped, but initially, apparently, the diabetes was already building inside my body, and he just gave me the answer that don't worry about it. Go ahead, control. Stay on the diet for a couple of days and you'll be okay. But then I found out 2 months later that my diabetes was 170, which is pretty high,
Yeah.
and it was very disappointing to find that being diabetic and the amount of sugar inside the body, it's that 170.
Pretty high.
But I don't understand how diabetes affects heart.
Okay, the diabetes with the copies that I made for you, everything we eat, it's energy, turns into energy, and energy means food will and sugar will turn into energy, and the body needs to burn sugar. When you run, you need energy, and that energy comes from sugar. So when we eat and that food that we take, which initially starts from the stomach, the digesting system, when everything is turned to sugar, if you're diabetic, it's going to affect the way you feel, and how's the whole mechanism will work is another completely different chapter.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm sorry if this is personal, but do you need insulin shots?
No, there are two types of diabetes. There are type 1, which is called the juvenile diabetes, and this will affect kids from maybe age 6, 7 and up, and that could be controlled. It's called the juvenile diabetes because controlled with the insulin. And there are number 2, type 2 diabetes, which will catch up with people, let's say age 30, 40, until the age of 60, 65, even 70. And that could be controlled with pills. There are so many pills on the market, but if it's the diabetes is not controlled with pills and exercise, it might lead for insulin. Now the type 1 diabetes, that's called the juvenile diabetes, it consists of not having enough insulin in the pancreas. Pancreas actually is the main organ that produces insulin. Now, if you don't have enough sufficient insulin in the pancreas, or the second part, the insulin is too little to burn the sugar that you eat, the food that, and then which is converted into sugar. So these two types of reasons why people might have high level of sugar or lower level of sugar, because of the insulin. They might have too much insulin, or they have too little insulin in their body.
Alright, what was your first reaction when you found out that you needed triple bypass surgery?
I was scared. Is number one. I was very scared, wondering what are the procedure and what are the reason that I should go through surgery and not be corrected by medication. Number two, the feelings that if something might happen during the surgery, is going to be successful or not. And number three, you wonder if any mistake could happen during the time of the surgery, and what would happen with your family, with your kids. Number four, if after you have the surgery, how well you're gonna be? Are you gonna heal completely, or it's a lot of questions that went through my mind. And the anticipation, especially during the day of the surgery, the anticipation of to get the surgery, get it over with. That's also another, I would call it trauma. I want to done, get it over with, and get it healed, and go back home and live normal life.
That's
Okay, what question number are you up to? 'Cause I think the battery's running out.
it's your
You're
turn.
6?
The third question.
I'm on 7, okay. Can you please describe the surgery?
Describe the surgery. Okay, I had to change, and
Oh.
We will take a slight intermission. Right.
here I am posing now.
Yeah, the
Now.
shirt!
This comes from Hawaii, by the way, this shirt.
Yes.
Now, here's the surgery. In order to replace any of the clogged arteries, they have to take, actually damaged arteries, they have to take arteries from someplace else in the body. At the present time, what they do, they take arteries from the leg. But I heard later on that the arteries from the arm, since they are stronger, maybe they might be switching from the leg and take the arteries from the arm. Now, how is it done? Number one, they shave, if you have lots of hair like me, they shave all your chest completely. You'll be naked, almost. I mean, the whole body will be naked, but they'll shave you right, you'll shave your chest, and if you could see, right here,
I mean, if you want, you can
close up.
It's like close
I don't know
up.
if you can
Can you
see, I
see?
have a forest here.
Yes, I see.
You see?
Really?
See here?
Oh, I see
Yeah.
it.
Get up
See?
if you want, like just like close up.
And I think I got a close up.
That big?
Oh,
No, it just goes all the way down here. So they make an incision.
That's like a hard pop.
Now, how would they make the incision? They have a real nice saw.
Yeah, they have
Huh?
a saw.
The
So
saw?
they crush the
Right?
they crush
What
the
they do, they cut the
actually crush the bone in the middle.
exactly.
They crush
They
it.
crush it.
Don't you die then? Like.
No, well,
No.
actually, I meant the anesthesia. Naturally,
Yeah.
the anesthesia they take it
It's not
right
a
here.
wig.
Yeah, yes.
It's about they inject you with anesthesia. Let's say 15-20 minutes, and then they'll see if you're feeling anything. They start poking you with the needles all over your body to see if that you're completely numb or half dead. Then they'll drive you inside the operating room. The anesthesia is done outside the operating room. This is the way it was done on me. Then they took me inside the operating room, but by the time they took me inside, I was out. So only took, he made me count from 100, by the time I reached 94, I was out. So what they do, they make an incision from here all the way down here. they split the
Rib cage.
rib cage.
The rib cage?
Yes.
Yeah, they have to get to your
Aren't
heart.
your lungs
They have to get the
inside
heart.
of
The
there?
heart is right here.
Aren't your lungs?
Okay. Now the lungs also they connect the tube from here to the lungs. If you see the picture, this is the lung.
Oh, it is.
That's,
Okay.
that's pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery.
Oh.
Okay, what they do, they connect the tube because they're gonna freeze the heart. They take the heart in their hands. Actually, that's what the doctor explained it to me. Take the
Oh my
after
God.
they freeze the heart, they take the heart in their hands, and actually with the depending on the angioplasty, the finding of the angioplasty, they know which arteries were clogged after freezing the heart and connecting the lungs to the machine. The body will be working on automatic
So you were put on the heart-lung machine?
heart lung machine
There's a
to function
Mhm.
the body.
Yeah, artificial, like
Yeah, to
Exactly.
keep it
artificial
going
Exactly.
while you're in surgery.
And after opening the chest and knowing where the arteries are, there's the one procedure before that. I mean, they do this, the cut of the leg, and here.
Look closer.
consequently. So the cut of the leg start from
Okay.
here.
Oh my God,
To
that's
here.
so big.
And they took out an artery
See?
from your leg?
They took an artery from there. Now this is for triple bypass. If I had to quadruple, then they'll take an artery all the way down from here.
Does that do anything to your leg, taking the artery out?
No, it did not affect my leg, but the pain and the healing after was tremendous. So since I only need triple bypass, they took the artery from here all the way to here. Supposedly if I had 4, then they're making the incision from here all the way up.
Did they take from your arm?
No.
No?
So when they took the arteries from here, they clean it, and when the incision is made, and they locate the area where the plaque is, what they do, if you notice on your picture, let's say the plaque is between this artery and this artery here. They clip here and they clip there, and the vein that they took from the leg, they connect the artery. They connect it to here, to here.
Yeah, I understand.
And let's say if you let's say take this picture here. If the clot is here, and the clot is here, what they do, they clip, they attach the artery they took from the leg, from here, and they pass all that area to here, and they pass all that area. So the bypass, they bypassing the clot was the location of that clot. Let's say if the clot is right here, and the curve, which is very hard to get to, they make the clip here, and they clip here, and they bypass this area.
The entire curve, yeah, I understand.
And the whole operation of
How long did it take now?
clipping, and about 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
The actual operation of bypassing those arteries takes about 15-20 minutes.
But I mean, like tearing your rib.
No, not counting that.
Oh.
Only the bypass.
The bypass itself.
The
took only
bypass
20
itself, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
But the entire surgery.
The entire surgery took about 2.5 hours. Now, the surgeon who's doing the bypass, he would just do the clipping
The bypass, yeah.
and the bypass, and then the assistant surgeon will do the rest.
I understand.
When I'm talking about
Take the artery out of your leg.
take the artery out of the leg, clean it, make sure it's clean, and the surgeon will take over and connects the artery by the bypass, and then the surgeon assistant will
How many stitches do you have on your leg?
how many incision
Stitches.
stitches? Talking about about 70.
70 stitches.
Yeah. And the healing of the leg, it's tremendous. You feel a lot of pain, But the
Did you
healing.
lose some strength in the leg?
Yeah. No, I did not lose anything. No, but after the operation, they made me wear special sock. It's like pantyhose on both legs in order to control the circulation of the blood and perhaps avoid any clot or any complications. But the healing after the operation is done to the chest and the bypass is done, is finished, they close the chest and they staple it with the staples. Now there's two type of healing: the inside of the chest healing and the outside healing. After it's closed and the stitches all over from here all the way down, will be removed, those stitches, after perhaps a week. Depends on the person
How fast they heal.
how fast it will heal. And 2-3 days the next day after the heart is done and the heart surgery is, the bypass is done and the incision is done, the next day they have to come and remove the tube that was connected to the machine. Actually, when they remove the tube from here to the inside of my body, it was about 2 feet long. And the way they pull it very hard, and then they close the place of the incision. There's no stitches to it, and this is done when I was awake.
Very painful.
And it is very painful, especially when it comes toward the end, to the end of the tube, before exiting the body. It's very painful. And then they press it very hard and they put some weight on it and put some ice to heal. It will heal.
Oh yeah, I think it's my turn actually. How did your family help during the entire ordeal?
I think they were worried about me and I was worried about them. The biggest, the kids at that time, Teresa was 8 years, 9 years old, and Michelle was 10 years old. So the impact on them was tremendous. Also my wife also was very tremendous. No one in the family, no one in the house, and she wanted to visit me after the operation, and she saw tubes from my nose, from my chest, from my mouth, oxygens, and coloration of the face is yellow, actually, and
very hard for them to see.
it was very hard, but the nurses told her that the recovery was remarkable, and I looked good. I mean, she should see in some other men at older age how the way they look. They look real. Sad to see someone, human being, under those conditions.
Yeah, they're helpless. They can't walk well.
And after the surgery, naturally, when the body is healing, you have this tremendous cough. So what they do, they give you a pillow or they give you a teddy bear to hug it. But the minute you hug it, you feel the incision, you feel the pain, and then the cough does not help either. And with the anesthesia, you cannot accept any food or any drink. And if you try to drink, you would throw it out.
When I had surgery and anesthesia, it's disgusting. You can't even drink water.
But sometimes you feel so thirsty and you want a little glass of water.
Yeah.
Well, they give you a little bit. And to control that pain, there is special injection that pills do not help. You need real good, strong injection to kill that pain. The pain is tremendous.
Right. How long has it been since the surgery?
I had the surgery in January 19. 91 or 92.
I mean, Michelle is 16 right now, right? And she was 10.
Michelle,
She was born in 1980.
And she was 10 at the time? That's all.
19.
So it was 1990 or 1991? It was
91.
1991.
Oh, somewhere around
Oh,
there.
that.
1991. I believe 1991.
Yeah.
January 1991. I I had that surgery done.
Nice.
But before the surgery, the body function was very weak. The coloration of the face, the color of my face was very pale, and I was very tired, feeling very, very tired.
Wait, but I got a question. You said you had it since 1968, like the condition or whatever?
No, 1988.
Oh, 88.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
1988. 1988.
Angina, you had angina itself.
The angina.
And it got worse
1988.
through, like,
The diabetes 1987,
mhm.
86, 87. But the angina 1988. And then during that time, between 1988 and until 1992, I was on medication until it came to a period that medication does not help anymore. I mean, I used to walk half a block and feel the pain, discomfort in my chest. That's symptoms that will tell you do something about it.
Senegal, yes. Second to last match.
You're not in the operating room, so don't worry.
After the surgery and like the whole recovery period, did you feel more healthy?
Okay, after the surgery, I got dismissed from the hospital 10 days after the surgery. I was very, very weak. I lost about 20, 21 pounds, which was excellent, was good, but then can't help it, put it all back. The recovery is very hard because the cough and not be able to walk. And I had to use only water to wash my body, water and soap with any should be free from alcohol or should be free from any
Certain chemicals.
smells, chemicals.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Only ivory was recommended. And after the shower, I had to apply iodine to the incisions to keep them clean. And this went on for about a week. And there was a hassle. I could not take a shower by myself. I didn't have the strength. My wife has to help me into the shower. And to shave took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And every 2 minutes, I had to relax and get my breath back. And I had to do it sitting down on the recliner.
Overall, do you feel healthier than you did between 1988 and 1992 than now?
Well, I feel healthier now because beside the arteries, the 3 branches of the clogged artery, they also check the main arteries that runs from the neck all the way down to the heart, and they found a clot in that too. So they stretched it somehow, and they removed the clot. In fact, when you go to a doctor for a physical, always they put to see if the flow of the blood, it's normal.
Yeah. How did you change your lifestyle after surgery? For example, did you change your diet or start exercising more?
Okay, the diet, try to keep a strict diet to it, but the doctor told me, the surgeon told me that at least a couple of weeks of the surgery, try to eat to gain your weight back, not weight, your strength.
Oh, strength.
But by gaining the strength, also you're putting on the weight more and more. I mean, faster. And in fact, I did put back 15, 20 pounds that I lost at the hospital. I put it right back, but it wasn't that healthy steps.
So you started exercising a lot too?
Exercise, but what happened, the surgery occurred on January 1992. January, February, March, and April, I felt discomfort again. I was crossing the street and trying to catch the green light, and I ran from one side to the other side of the street, and all of a sudden I felt a little pain in my chest again. I was a little bit confused, and I was a little bit afraid of what could cause that problem again, the pain. I went to a doctor and he put me on the treadmill. And he said, unfortunately, I have very bad news for you because, okay, you went through triple bypass surgery, but now more arteries or the same arteries that they took from your leg got clogged again. And now I have the angina all over again. Usually they tell you that the open heart surgery might last you for 5 years, and after 5 years or 7 years, you might go for another open heart surgery. But this open heart surgery only lasted 4 months, and then the arteries start clogging again. And now I'm on medication again. I take Loprasa, and try to watch what I eat and exercise. My best exercise I could do riding bicycle and walk. If I could do any extra strenuous exercises, I would feel the pain like before the surgery.
Next question.
Are you planning on having another surgery?
No, God forbid. What they I heard on TV about 2 weeks ago that they are working on a medication that an injection that could clear up that clog in the arteries, and also it's not fully been done here. Only on instead of ripping the cage from here to here, they go between the ribs, and they're trying to locate where the clog is, and they try to do the bypass through the ribs rather than open the chest.
Hopefully the technology will come that's
Only
much easier.
maybe
Hope-
5, 10, 15 years, who knows? But it's on experimental basis now.
No, that's it.
That's it. All right. I like this question asked. How has this experience affected your entire outlook on life?
Okay, that's an excellent question. People might take that question for granted, but after the surgery, since the surgery and after the surgery, I love life. And why? Because life means more to me now than before. I just feel that whatever, we only live once, and God forbid if you have to go through under operation, especially if the operation consists of heart or lungs or or pancreas or the liver or any part of your body or even brain. It only takes strong will and look positive, positive outlook, and you hope that you'll be a better person. But then you want to live the rest of your life, be a better person, accomplish as much as you can, be happy, look more positive rather than negative, be always optimistic rather than pessimistic about things, and treat people better, respect people, and you don't wish what happened to you to happen to somebody else, because it's very painful experience, but it's necessary in order to survive. So to me, life is a gift, a precious gift, and whatever you live happier and make other people happy, it's good, big accomplishment.
All right. We're done with the questions. We just want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you
for
very
everything.
much.
Sure.
And we hope the best for your
Thank
future.
you, thank you. I like to make that note that diabetes and the heart diseases are connected hand to hand. If control the diabetes and the exercise and the diet altogether could benefit you 100% better than the surgery, or better than medication even. Medication only to help your body to cope, help the cells to accept, let's say, the glucose and burn them. That's the function of the medication. But exercise and watch the diet, they're more significant than just taking medication and then abuse the medication and not watch what you eat or exercise.
That's excellent advice.
Yeah,
Alright.
and no smoking.
And also,
That's naturally.
alright, once again, thank you.
Thank you very much.
for
Sure.
everything, and we
I
hope the
hope
best.
I answer all your questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
thanks.
is-
thank you.